Hello everyone, my name is Shraddha Subramanian. I am a certified leadership and transformation coach and also author of best-selling book Circle of Perspectives. I help people to overcome their mental barriers, achieve their dream life, and live an extraordinary life using my coaching tools and techniques. So we had some technical glitches, but we are live and we are going ahead with this conversation. Hope it's going to be a useful one for all of you, and I'll try to answer as many questions as possible. So I welcome you all for this work from home discipline and communication for success. First of all, thanks all of you for joining in and putting up your valuable questions in this time where we all are actually feeling so challenged. Working from home is another challenge for specifically for women, the working woman, and it's important to now really segregate, uh, demarcate our boundaries in terms of what goes in and what goes out in terms of the work from home. So, briefly, why work from homes are good. I'll just give a brief about it, and also why work from homes are now challenging as well. So, work from home, sometimes we want just to take care of the things around us, and it becomes easy for us to handle multiple things. We are already multitaskers as women, and it's so awesome when you can take care of things around you, and also you can take care of your work, you can be on top of it, you can perform to the highest potential level. It becomes challenging when there are so many distractions possibly, and in this time specifically when you have to take care of a lot many things which are there. So let's get started, and I have few questions that we will go ahead and start answering. So the first question is from Ashwini. How important is discipline during this time? I would say discipline is important in every time, and specifically when it is the time of challenges, crisis, when it is a time that you are feeling like when will get this will get over. There is so much of anxiety around us, there is so much of fear possibly, that for how many days we need to continue like this. Discipline is important in every part of our life, day on day, every day, specifically in these challenging times, because when you are disciplined, it helps you to go a long way. When you are disciplined for yourself, for your work, then it helps you to feel accomplished. At the same time, you also get, you're not all over when you are disciplined. You actually tend to figure out lot many things which you can do it for yourself. So discipline is the utmost important thing for human lives. Discipline for yourself, discipline for ensuring that the world around you is intact. So discipline is very important. The demarcation, the segregation, the categorization of how you're operating today is very important. Very, very important. Kavya asks, what are some communication tools that we will come handy while working from home? Okay. So basic thing I would want to start off with, uh, discipline and communication, right? These are the two things if you are working from anywhere, maybe from office, And now in the time when we are working from home, all of us are working from home, communication and discipline it is utmost important. Those are the two primary things that are going to lead you to success about your life, in terms of you can start feeling very much overwhelmed that okay, I have to do so much about my office work, I have to take care of the home chores, I have to take care of the family, I have so many things apart from this that needs to be done. Earlier, going to office was like a clear demarcation for me that okay, this is my office time and I will take care of my this space and then the other space. Now because it's all mixed up somewhere, it's creating an imbalance. Possibly it is becoming more challenging and it is becoming more demanding, specifically as a woman. Now to deal with it, first communication that you need to have is with yourself. Yes, very important one. First communication, when you have it with yourself, is the one that yes, it's okay, I can deal with it, I know how to deal with it and I can deal with it. This will ease a lot of your pressure that you have in this moment, because every now and then you are feeling so much overwhelmed that how will I be able to deal with it? This is getting so much. And now today you are sitting with me, but I think in the back of your minds somewhere you might be having that question that how will I actually, you know, go ahead after 1 o'clock and what all things I need to do. A lot of things you must be having in your mind going right now. So, time to take a pause. The first communication that we all need to have is with ourselves that yes, it's possible to deal with it, and I'm taking an hour step by step towards making it happen. When the life gets uncertain, you don't know what's going to happen next, how things will work out, still how many days we have to operate at this same level, we don't know. In that scenario, I would suggest to first use tools like creating a schedule for yourself, number one, in which you fill up what is your time consuming thing. Yes, number one time consuming thing would be how much time your daily stuff is taking apart from your work. Yes, how much time your work needs, right? And what all other things are there that needs to be taken care of. So when you prepare a schedule, you would know maybe I was thinking it too much, but I can still deal with it. I can still tackle it. The way to prepare the schedule is like you can, simply in an Excel sheet, you can have the hourly division of your time. And then now you can put forward segregated hours of your dedicated work time, dedicated family time, dedicated time for your daily household things that you have to take care of. So, this is the first tool. You can help yourself to communicate to yourself well that yes, it's not that bad as it seems like, but yes, when I actually, take a toll of it, take a note of it, try to organize it in a manner that is going to be helpful to me, I am able to capture the time well. I'm able to observe it well. I'm able to focus well. That's number one tool. Number two would be to simply do a brain dump of your activities that you have to do. You can make separate list for your household things plus your work things, work things that you are able to foresee that is going to come to you. Like you must be having this to-do list at work, but then I'm saying creation of that to-do list for your daily things, your family time, plus your work. What will happen is it will empty your mind in terms of what needs to be done. Simple things, as I suggest, really the homemakers, sometimes they feel so overwhelmed. I say, okay, go ahead and just make a list of things, like maybe cooking food, taking care of the household things, whatever it may be. Just make a list of it. Just brain dump everything. When you do a brain dump, you'll feel relaxed. You'll feel empty inside. This will help you to move on, do more, and really segregate your time. So that's tool number two. These all are the tools I'm talking about for your self communication. First, for your self communication. In every crisis, in every challenge, the most important communication that we have is with ourselves. When you have that communication with yourselves that it's okay, I can deal with it, it is just a situation and this shall too pass, then you are more better equipped. It's like half the battle won. Point number three, the tool that you can use is the did it list. Sometimes, as you go through the day, at the end of the day, you might feel so dissatisfied about yourself that, okay, I had planned so much to be done, but I have not done anything out of it. In these times, when you are doing a mental note of what you did in the day, maybe you have not accomplished what you had planned for, but I'm sure you have invested that time in doing something else. What is that something else that you did? Make a note of it and acknowledge yourself, appreciate yourself that, okay, maybe I've not done what I was supposed to do, but I did something which was very important, which was important to be taken care of. Maybe something came up at the last moment that you have to take care of. So make that did it list for yourself to feel that appreciation inside. Once you start feeling that appreciation inside, you are completely equipped with these three tools. At least if you do this scheduling, if you do the brain dump of whatever needs to be done, with the brain dump, if you really start putting up some target dates, that's going to help you. And number three would be the accomplished list, the did it list, that I did this today. So these are the three main important tools that you can use to communicate with yourself first. The perception really matters. The more you see it as a crisis, the more it looks like as a crisis. The more you see it as a simple challenge, the more you are equipped better to deal with it, overcome it. So this is the first, the communication tools I said you need to use to communicate with yourself. Why I specifically mentioned that communication is important for you to work from home, because communication with yourself is the first key for anything, any challenge that you're dealing with. Second comes is the communication with your peers, with your subordinates, and with your bosses. At workplace, we know that we go to the office and we are around, so we are seen that we are working in all of that. But when you're working from home, sometimes even if you get up for a biological break or drinking water, you might not be answering people's ping, and the perception might be that you are not working from home well. So the best communication would be to either, you can put your chat boxes in the away mode wherever possible, that you are not available. Possibly you can put in your status that I will be away for 10 minutes. I'm taking a break of 10 minutes and I will be back. That can be one of the good communication options. Thirdly, so this is like being available or not available for those particular moments, as I say, during the breaks. Thirdly, you can actually communicate well in terms of your emails or group chats, directly stating your availabilities, your available times that you will be available for those, and then commit to those timings. So as you prepare the schedule, as I told in the first bit of it, that you are more equipped to handle yourself when you are yourself organized, yourself disciplined, your communication with yourself is completely clear. Then you can really go and communicate clearly, thoroughly, with clarity to others. So at workplace, whenever you are going to be not available, kindly, please, 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 my humble request would be to clearly state that you will not be available for this time. This will help your subordinates, your peers, your bosses to schedule the meetings in time when you are available. There will be no guessing work that will be happening for you, for your bosses, for your peers, your subordinates, that this person is maybe available, maybe not available. In this time, it's very important to schedule meetings in others' calendars, because now it's not a privilege anymore, so that you can go and walk onto someone's desk and have that conversation, get things sorted. So the more you use the calendar as a tool to schedule meetings with people in advance, even for a one-on-one conversation, that's going to take you a long way. First, you schedule your calendar very well as you are doing the scheduling thing with yourself, and then you can open up the hours of scheduling with anyone and everyone for the meetings, for any one on ones, for any help that your team needs. So, that is another one for you to communicate. The third one would be through email, the clear communication in terms of what will be your work timings. If you are not able to follow the usual work times of the office timings because of some reason, it's always better to over communicate your non availability or your availability rather than under communicate, because that leaves the other person with guesswork, that leaves the other person, that blocks other person's time as well. The next question we have is from Ritu, which is like, how to be patient while communicating with my colleague who is finding it hard to decipher. What am I saying? Okay, so you can, Ritu, you can use multiple tools which are available. The first one could be, you can either share your screens. That's number one. Maybe you can draw and show and, have the remote access if it is possible. Number two could be, maybe you can draw it for yourself first, explaining yourself. And if you have family members available, just take few minutes, okay, to, I understand it is not about you want to share it with them, but just as you are drawing and just communicating maybe to yourself, how do you feel? That's number one. If you feel that okay, you are able to understand, you are not able to make the other one understand, send a picture of it first. Ask the person to really have a check in terms of whether he or she is able to decipher using that technique. If not, number two would be to figure out how can you communicate better, right? So this is a particular time that you are actually upskilling yourself in terms of communicating better. It is said that the way you communicate is the response you get. So basically, whatever the response you are getting is nothing but how you are communicating to the other one. For sometimes you will have to be really patient about it, as you're saying, how can we be patient? Yes, but this is the time of learning. Take it as a learning curve even for yourself. In these times, you are given this situation to learn patience. That's what I take it. And I think everyone around us, everyone, specifically when we are in jobs, when you are not able to explain it in the right manner, take it as a learning, take it as a learning for your own self, that okay, how can I communicate better, number one, and how can I be more patient, how can I develop that strength of patience to deal with things, right? So the next question we have is from Amita. She's asking how to develop habits that will help me be disciplined in life in general. Great. So this is a very good question, and I really appreciate Amita for asking that, because see, in life, whatever work you have done for yourself, working on your inner self, shows up in this moment, right? The more you get feel pressure about things, or the more you feel calm about it, is only when you reach to a testing time for yourself, right? In the normal day-to-day routine, when things are all fine, things are all okay, you deal with it very fine, right? Very okay, very diligently, very effortlessly. Now the question comes, when do you extend yourself, right? When you extend yourself, you extend yourself in the moment of pressure, in the moment when you don't feel like doing things but you still go ahead and do it. It's like, if I have to give you an analogy, if you go to the gym or you do home workout, right, and maybe 5 push-ups are just okay for you to do, you develop that strength, that physical strength, only when that 6, 7, 8 happens. When you push yourself to do that 6, 7, 8, when it seems difficult for you to do it and you still go ahead and do it, in that moment you are building your physical strength. It is the same way in this moment. The more you are pushed towards the edge, the more you are building resilience for yourself, the more you are building um, strength, your mental strength, your emotional strength to deal with it. So, the habits, how do I develop habits? It's very simple. Yes, it is very simple. Pick up one thing that you would want to do in these in this period, when it is a very slack period, not in terms of work, of course, but then you have got some time at hand, when you are not traveling, when you are not bothered by traffic, and you are at home at ease, and you have got all the time, ample of time, to spend on your inner work. So pick up one or two things, not more than that. Have a time scheduled for ensuring that you're spending time on that particular habit. Third thing would be to just do it, not thinking it, but just doing it. Remembering that you extend your physical strength with that extra push up, extra dumbbell exercise, maybe extra skipping, whatever it may be. And you are building your strength for yourself, your mental, emotional, forming those habits day on day basis, on a repetition basis, just by ensuring that you are having or doing it regularly. Our mind works with repetition, right? And repetition is nothing but it becomes your habit. So initially, when we were very small, we didn't know how to brush our teeth, and we were forced to do that. It seemed like something difficult, some difficult habit. But now it's, after doing it for so many years repetitively, it has become a habit that okay, first thing and you get up in the morning, you brush your teeth. It's like that. Make things repetitive for you. Once you do that, mentally also, start following yourself in terms of being aware that okay, I'm creating this habit, being mindful of it, and mentally extending yourself every day, and then physically extending yourself every day to have that habit created for yourself, right? Now, the next question, right? I think Srishti asked the same question with some additional time in hand. What are some habits can develop to get more discipline in terms of work? Okay, in terms of work, if you want to create, first one would be having to have that discipline. Really important. Discipline is the utmost important thing in your life. If you are not disciplined, it is not going to help you in any ways. We are disciplined in our own senses, isn't it? We are disciplined, if you just don't acknowledge yourself to be a disciplined person, that's altogether a different story. But then when I say make a did-it list, it is like self acknowledging yourself that yes, you are disciplined for something. You are disciplined for helping yourself eat food on a given certain day, certain time. You are disciplined to log in every day to work, right? That's also a discipline. You are disciplined to brush your teeth. You are disciplined to sleep on time. Maybe sleep, maybe you're not sleeping on time, but at least you're taking rest. It's also a part of a discipline. So there are so many disciplines that you have in your life. It is just a matter of possibly organizing them. It's like the pearls in the thread. You are actually organizing them, helping yourself to be the way you want it to be. Okay. The next question is from Kajal. Can you please suggest some online or virtual team activities that will help better our communication? Wow, that's an awesome question, and that can take each one of you, specifically for the teams, who are working virtually, remotely, very well. So it's first a team activity that I would suggest, like I used to do it with my team when I was working, is um, just share about yourself, right? Maybe 5 minutes in a week. Some things that you don't know about each other that will help you to bond better. And then possibly a quiz, an innovative quiz about yourself. You can yourself come up with a quiz that how much people know me. That can be very engaging um in terms of really feeling that okay, people are attentive when I'm talking about myself. Third thing could be helping. So after the quiz you can actually have a chart, the brownie points, the board wherein, the virtual board where you have points mentioned and who is leading the leading boards for your teams coming together. The second team activity that I would consider is, one which I ask people to do is back to back drawing. It's an amazing activity. You can do it virtually as you are doing your video calls together. Possibly one of you can have a picture and you can ask the other one, you can guide the other one to draw it with simple instructions. Back to back drawing, when you're physically together, it's called as back to back drawing, in the sense one person only knows about the picture and the other one is just instructed to draw it. And that really leads to the real communication, because then you know what you are saying is interpreted well, taken well, the other person has understood it in the same manner as you wanted to communicate it. So that's another one. Back to back drawing will it take you to a long way. It's also a fun exercise that you can also do it with your family members. It's real fun. It's real fun, and it improves your communication skills like anything. You can get the pictures online. You just have to type back to back drawing and you will get n number of pictures. You can create your own pictures. Those are simply constructed from different kind of shapes you can have, and to real difficult ones where you have some objects to be drawn and stuff like that. So, back to back drawing is one of the greatest tools, one of the greatest activities I always suggest to all my clients, to teenagers, to their parents, to working professionals, to whom not, because this helps to improve your communication skills very well. So, do that with your team. All the rest of the people maybe can be observant, and you can do it with one at a time, or you can do it with all in the same time, because that will be a real fun activity, that one of you on a call is actually asking the others to guiding the others to draw a picture, and the other ones are all of them are actually drawing as you are instructing. So it shows how you are communicating, and you can go turn by turn on this, and this can lead to a real fun, as well as improve your communication skills. And you will find that if you do it with your team members on a regular basis, it will lead you to a very long way, right? So these are the two activities: knowing about them, setting up something innovative in terms of asking questions, having to have a leading board with the points, and back to back drawing has no match in terms of improving your communications and also bonding. It's a fun activity, as well as it will help you to communicate better, because the other person, how the other person is interpreting, you will come to know, and then you will be more clear in terms of the instructions that you would be giving to the others, right? Great question, Kajal, I would say. Kanika asks, given the time I'm unable to actively look for a job, how can I utilize this time to develop communication skills? Right. so, so fine. Now, this time you've got it to really I would say reskill yourself, upskill yourself. So, number one, there could be multiple things that you could do and utilize as you're not actively looking for a job. How can you use this time to upskill yourself? Communication is just one part of it. There can be multiple. So communication happens in different forms: your written communication, your verbal communication, your physiological communication. You're writing, you are speaking, or if not both, actually your postures are telling so much, right? So in the written communication, what comes is your resume. So work on the resume bit, figure out how can you put up few words which depict exactly who you are, exactly who you are in terms of your skill set, exactly what you have to offer if the other person is ready to hire you. So it is said your resume is your first entry point to any organization to scan whether you are the right candidate for that particular job profile or not. So important factor here would be to go ahead and first of all improve your resume writing, whatever you have written. How can you go about doing it? As we can take a session on that. I'm happy to take it, but important here would be to just make a note of things, that what do you think is good about you, what do you think about your skills, what do you think about what can you offer to the organization which who will be intending to hire you, what kind of a job profile or a job role that you're looking for, what kind of an organization that you would like to work for. So make a note of all of it, and then when you know about what kind of a job profile you would be wanting for, when you what kind of a company that you would want to work with, maybe search for those, um, search about that company, what kind of jobs are available, what kind of job profile is expected, and then accordingly create your resume based on that. You may be knowing that skill already. It is just a matter of putting it in the right set of words. So written communication is important, having to have that resume in place which is ready and available to fly when the times allow you to do that. Number one. Number two would be to have that communication skills upgraded. Simply, uh, I believe communication is an easy way. It happens when you feel confident inside, right? So communication in a sense is expressing yourself, and when you find it difficult to express yourself in words, it is somewhere block about your internal confidence. So I would say, rather than working on the communication bit, the verbal communication, work on your internal self confidence bit. Yes, that I can communicate, it's okay, I can express myself well. Here you can use the affirmations for yourself, that yes, I know how to express myself, and start expressing yourself in front of the mirror. It's a very great exercise to do, as if your interviewer is sitting in front of you, and the questions that interviewer might ask, answer those for yourself, standing in the front of the mirror, stating in the front of the mirror, and then you will get to understand the gap in your communication. Once you understand the gap, how am I communicating, you will be also guided in terms of what exactly I need to communicate and what exactly is being communicated. So this will help you to go a long way. Slowly and steadily you will figure out that you are able to communicate better. As you are getting at ease with your communication with the mirror, you are also getting at ease with communicating with the other people. Like, because when you are easy to communicate with yourself, you can communicate with the others very well, and then the self expression comes in. If it is a matter of language that you are using, the words that you are using, having to have the right choice of words, I suggest to maybe write it down in your own native language, if that is the challenge you're facing in terms of English language. Write it down fully in terms of your native language, convert it to the English language, or maybe if you're writing down completely in English, write it down fully on a piece of paper. Try to figure out synonyms for the words you feel that those are not the appropriate ones, which I want to say. Figure out the synonyms will have meanings as well attached to it, and choose the right word which exactly conveys what you have to say. So this way you can really create that piece of information that you want to share for yourself. Thirdly, in terms of communication, I always insist on creating a 30-second elevator pitch, 30-second introduction about yourself. It has to be first written down, who are you, what you have to offer, what are your strengths, your skills, what are you ready to offer to the organization, what can be beneficial for them, right? So prepare that 30-second. You can write it on a piece of paper, one pager, two pager, three pager, refine it, get it down to a place when you read it, you are expressing it, it just crux out into 30 seconds. That's it. And it has to be so impressive that the interviewer really gets to think that yes, this person has got something about him or her, which is who is ready to be hired. Okay, so I hope I've answered that well for you. Go ahead, utilize the time. If you need any help from me, you can reach out to me. I'll share the details in the comment section in a while. You can also reach out to me through my website, shraddhasubramanian.com, and I can help you more on this anytime. So thanks, Kanika, for that question. The next question comes is from Jyoti. Is there a way to implement discipline and communication while looking for a job? Yes, of course. I just shared some techniques when Kanika asked this question. Implementation is a key, though. Implementation is the key. How the implementation happens, I'll just put it up in the right manner here. We only implement things when we see a pleasure in doing something, or we see a pain in operating at the level which we are operating in this moment. right? When you find it good to do something, when you find it funny to do something, when you find it something that cheers you, you tend to do that thing more, right? So this particular thing, of implementing the communication and discipline also comes to a certain point wherein, are you really dealing with it today easily, or it is getting so hard and challenging for you to deal with it today? If that is the thing, definitely you are looking for a change, and then that change leads to take and implement stuff. Regarding the implementation, the tools which I have mentioned already, you can use scheduling, you can use back to back drawing, you can use 30 seconds elevator pitch for yourself, you can do you can have the mirror work done for yourself, you can speak with the mirror, you can upskill, you can study, you can have that segregated, focused, defined time for yourself wherein you are actually dealing with it very well. So all this is possible. And while you are looking for a job, this discipline will take you a very, very long way, because at this moment when you are possibly not working and you are into a routine and a schedule, now when you take up a job, it will demand more energy from you, it will demand more scheduling from you, it will demand more having to have that organized and structured approach towards your life. So the more you get disciplined, the more you know how to communicate with yourself and to the others, the more it becomes easy for you to go ahead as you go and take up the job. Smita asked me, I'm going to be working after a career break of 5 years. How can I work on rebuilding discipline while working? Okay, I just shared a few tips and techniques, Smita, in terms of the things that needs to be done. I would repeat it for you once again. The crux the crux is that having to have the self communication right first. It's important, how are you communicating to yourself? Are you communicating that, okay, it's going to be very overwhelming for me as I join the workforce once again, or is it going to be okay, I know how to deal with it, and from now onwards I'm preparing myself to operate at that level, that okay, no matter how much busyness my job creates, I am up there to help myself and the others, and also to take care of the things around me. So that is what it is in today's time. As after the break, you will be going ahead and taking care of everything. uh, that is long way, that will lead you to a very long way, and steadily you can really build that discipline for yourself to get on, right? The next question, I have is from Aruna. She's saying, I'm not getting job and right now I'm jobless. Kindly advise during this time I can work from home. So there are different options available working from home. But my question would be to you, Aruna, would be, what kind of a thing, what kind of a work that you would want to do from home? There are many organizations who are hiring and who are supportive of work from home these days. And now there is so much of virtual hiring happening as well. So focus on what you can do, what kind of a job profile you're looking at. As you focus on that, create what is it that you can provide in this particular scenario to the organization as they are going to hire you. Try to write it down all completely, and then you will be able to figure out what exactly helps you. Once you figure that out, search for the different jobs available in your area of expertise. There are different, there is one website called as Fiverr, I think. There are many others, Flex Jobs, many others available. uh, I'm just giving free just examples, Elance is there. There are many more are available where you can search. But important aspect is, what kind of a job are you looking for? What kind of a work that you would want to do that will give you satisfaction? It shouldn't be the case that you get into something and at the end of the day you are more frustrated and tired, rather than how you are in the current situation of being not to have a job. So you must be taking care of what you need, exactly what you want. Pay attention to that. Vasavi has a question. Please advise me jobs, both work from home and office works. So I think I have already mentioned that already, Vasavi, how you can take care, how can you go about it. And I think that is going to help you completely in terms of dealing with this. So I believe we are done with the set of questions. I would want to conclude this expert chat with few things. Number one, be disciplined in your own way. Discipline is also a muscle, as we have um, the physical muscle, we also have a mental and emotional muscle. So create discipline for yourself. How can you do that? You can really segregate your time. Before creating the discipline, what is important is communication. First, communication with yourself. Second is with your team members. Third is with your family members, people around you who are supporting you to work from home, because they are also an integral part of your life in this moment. When you're working from home, you're not segregated completely as like I'm at office and I'm at home. You are at home, and make the best use of it. So from a communication point of view, for you to communicate with yourself is an important. How are you seeing this situation? How is it feeling like to you? Is it overwhelming, or is it like I can deal with it? So first get on to that communication with yourself, that I can deal with it. It's okay, it's fine. No matter what is going outside, I am able to help myself inside to deal with it. First would be to do scheduling in terms of what all hours are available with me. I segregate and separate my work hours from my whatever family time or the household hours that I need to spend with. Those can be like separated and segregated. In the whole day you can have multiple slots for your work and your home activities, or your spending time with your families. But important factor is to have that segregated time, the focus time for yourself, when you are actually making sure that you are working from home, right? You're working from home and you're accomplishing your work that is supposed to be done. Number one, post have a brain dump for yourself. Create a brain dump wherein what all activities that you need to do for your office, plus whatever you need to do for home. Empty yourself completely so that you can be creative and innovative for yourself. How I can utilize this time to make the benefit it to benefit for me. That's number one. Number two, number three would be, as you go throughout the day, make a digit list at the end of the day, which will help you to figure out where I invested my time if I didn't do what I was supposed to do in the day. That will help you to feel accomplished and acknowledging and appreciating yourself. Yes, I invested my time in this. You can also review your digit list, saying that okay, I invested my time in this possibly, but this was not the right thing in the right time. So I need to rework on that and ensure that I pick up the right set of things to be done, prioritize my things well. So these are number three. Number four would be to communicate with yourself through mirror work. Yes, communicate with yourself. Yes, I am able to deal with this. Take few silent moments for yourself every day to reflect upon your day, reflect upon building your mental and emotional strength to deal with it, and telling yourself that it's okay, it's going all fine, all right. Okay, so that's communicating with yourself. Communicating with your peers, important factor is to let them know your time availability. Let That's number one, so that the meetings are scheduled in time. Number two, what are your focus hours even within your working hours, where you can actually focus on your work, and the rest of the hours ensure to communicate that only these times I'm available to chat or to ping, and ensure that you are focused completely, else at the end of the day you will not feel accomplished, and this is going to be very difficult. Thirdly, be very innovative in letting your teams know your segregation. Figure out your times of working. Be creative. You can be, if you're individual contributors, as I said, you can be creative about your time to figure out what time you want to work and what time you want to invest in something else. So be creative, ensure to work more collaboratively with your team members, your peers, your bosses, your subordinates, so that it works out well. You have all the power and you know inside how to deal with it. Be patient. Yes, lot of times there are technical issues with your team members. They are not able to join the calls on time. Be patient with it. Guide them, teach them in terms of how you can be better at it. How can you bring on more discipline here now, that if the call is at 10 o'clock, maybe possibly try it at 9:30 and all of that, so that you know that you are in the call on time and you are not wasting others' time, right? When you start communicating, the others will as well. So be open on your communication and don't judge others if they are late, whatever it is. Lot of judgments happen sitting on one side. You don't know what's happening on the other side. Let's be open and then communicate with very honestly that, this doesn't seem right. What can we do together to sort this out? Throw the question to your teams, brainstorm in terms of how you can do better as team members, as we are dealing with this scenario. Communicate, number three, with your family members well, that this is your focus time and you are not to be disturbed. Ensure you have a separate working space, even a chair, and a simple segregated area is also good enough. Ensure that you demarcate yourself, maybe by wearing, ensuring that you follow some certain timings. You have demarcation of the area, that this is my workplace. Demarcation by your clothes, possibly that gives you a different feel altogether, that I'm working from home. But that is your complete choice how you can work it out. Discipline is important and communication is important. How you see yourself, how you perceive it, is going to take you long way, and it is going to help you build the communication, the discipline for your life in general, not about work from home. But this is going to take you long way in terms of the learnings that we are all getting with this work from home, with this situation around us. Utilize this time to create new habits, utilize this time to connect more with yourself, to build up more for your own time, and be the best. Whatever tips and tools I've shared for creating your own job profiles, go ahead and implement those. And also, lastly, I would encourage all of you to sit back and figure out what upskilling each one of you need apart from the skills that you have. How can you help yourself to be more patient, communicate well? One of the tools I shared was back to back drawing. Do this activity, it's fun. You can do it with your team members virtually, and it will help you take a long, long way. So I think we are done with this expert chat. I believe you all enjoyed this, and I completely and thoroughly enjoyed it. Thank you so much for asking these questions. These questions and answering to those questions have actually helped me also to reconnect and recollect lot of things, which I can do more for myself and for my work from home. So thanks a lot, and I wish you all the best. And if you have any questions, queries, I am leaving my details in the comment box. You can reach out to me for a free coaching call of 30 minutes anytime. We can schedule it, and we can go about it. I can help you in terms of how can you go about enhancing your skills, given that we have got so much of time at hand. Take care and all the best. Happy working from home. Stay focused, stay disciplined, stay in communication with yourself and others, and stay safe. All the best. Take care.